It was localized, something like a tornado, and it was rising into the sky.
We didn't think this could happen in our region. Yes, we had seen it on TV, but we never thought it could happen one day. And then it happened.
In mid-June 2022, a stream of hot air from North Africa brought sweltering heat to Europe. Maximum daily records were broken in Spain, France, Italy, and Great Britain. June 18th in the Netherlands was the hottest day of the year. And in France, in the city of Biarritz, the temperature exceeded the previous record, which was set almost 20 years ago.
We live in the countryside, and the water reservoirs are starting to dry up. This never happens usually, and it's worrying.
On June 19th, a new heat record was set in Germany at the Cottbus station. On the same day, the earliest snowmelt in 62 years was recorded at the Germany's highest point. Extreme heat brought crop failures to Europe. Many people ended up in hospitals with heat stroke. In Spain, abnormal heat, drought, and strong winds triggered dozens of wildfires in 11 provinces. In Catalonia and Nevada, more than 40 fires occurred across the total area over 5,000 hectares. In the Sierra de la Culebra, flames have destroyed about 25,000 hectares of protected forest land. More than 2,000 people were evacuated as the fire approached populated areas. Many farmers lost much of their crops.
Well, it's difficult. The heat, especially in Madrid, with the little shade that there is, so much asphalt. It's complicated because on top of that, we don't have air conditioning.
France, June 18th and 19th. A powerful storm blew along the coast of the department of Calvados. Everything happened very sharply. The temperature dropped by almost 15 degrees Celsius within minutes. The sky darkened quickly, and the strongest gust of wind forced holidaymakers on the beach to flee and seek shelter. There were casualties. Dozens of people were injured.
It was localized, something like a tornado, and it was rising into the sky.
It was crazy. People were in panic. My little kids were crying and didn't understand what was going on. Mothers were crying with their kids, you know, it was apocalyptic.
The next day, for the second time in the last month, heavy storms with heavy rain and hail hit the departments of Vienne and Indre. One day later, the city of Bordeaux was hit by a powerful hailstorm.
Walls in our two rooms, in the kitchen and the corridor got
We didn't think this could happen in our region. Yes, we had seen it on TV, but we never thought it could happen one day. And then it happened.
China, June 18, 2022. A powerful tornado swept through Foshan city district. Homes and industrial buildings were damaged. At the same time, catastrophic flooding caused by torrential rains continued in the southern regions of the country. More than 200,000 people have been evacuated, and there are people missing. Thousands of people are trapped in water. These are the heaviest downpours in 60 years. For the period from June 17th to the 23rd, floods and hailstorms swept across Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Americas. Homes, roads, and cars were damaged. Farmland was also flooded.
21st of June 2022, Afghanistan. A strong and very destructive earthquake occurred in a mountainous area near the border with Pakistan. Unfortunately, there were more than 1,500 casualties, and about 2,000 people were injured. It is reported that the death toll will increase as information is received from the high mountain villages. Many people are still buried underground. Sections of highways have been blocked in some regions since the recent floods, making it even more difficult for people to access help. The region is vulnerable to earthquakes, but this earthquake was the most powerful in the country in 20 years. Earth tremors were felt in other parts of the country, as well as in Pakistan and India. The catastrophe came at the time when Afghanistan is struggling with a humanitarian and economic crisis. Decades of conflict in the country have made it difficult to improve protection against earthquakes and other natural disasters. According to reporters, Afghan rescuers have only a few planes and helicopters that can be used to rescue people.
It was about midnight when the quake struck. It destroyed the houses of our neighbors. When we arrived, there were many dead and wounded. They sent us to the hospital. I also saw many dead bodies.
It was midnight and very late when we were awakened by a strong earthquake. I was in the room with my kids. I screamed first, followed by the kids. Our cow died after one of our rooms where we kept her collapsed. All over the neighborhood, people started crying and screaming because their houses had collapsed and their women and children were trapped underneath. There were numerous deaths of women and kids around us. Thank God nobody in our family died.
We pay attention to anything but preparing for the unavoidable cataclysms. Do you know what to do if your house collapses on you? Can you even be confident that you will be rescued? After all, half of the countries today don't even have early warning system for dangerous emergencies, whereas forecasting systems have proven to be inadequate. Lack of coordination and bureaucratic procedures and paperwork make it impossible to effectively save millions of lives in current consumer society.
That's exactly its value.
There must be a single global rescue service for an emergency response, which will enable competent coordination of experts and rapid deployment of the required equipment to save billions of lives, including yours.
All this is possible only in the format of a creative society. Currently, an important step in its building is the stage of informing. If we do not inform people about it right now, we will lose time. And tomorrow, there will be no one to inform and no one who will help you. It's important to bring this information to everyone now so that you and your family can survive tomorrow.